And before going to the generative AI, let's have a basics clear. Okay, so let's start with something called word embedding. So word embedding, it's nothing but if you're giving a flurry of the uh, words, it can categorize the word based on the neighbor relation, semantic relation. Take a dog, it's related to the cat. If you same thing, if you put car or bus, it is come under the same category. The distance between it is it'll be reduced. So if you look at it, dog, walk, animal, person, these are all comes closer to the each category. So if you take any simple code, I'll give you simple code. Okay. If you take this simple code, what does it do is it take a sentence. I say I love natural language processing. Word embeddings are powerful. Machine learning is interesting. And what am I trying to do is I'm converting word into the vector. Okay. So we know as a human brain, we know this is something nearby to this one. But how do the neural network or the machine learning model know? That is via 1 minute. Okay. So we give a sentence, I love natural. It is converted into the vector where the mission model can understand, and this will be given as an input. Okay, so you see this is converted, it will give you the relationship. I want to see the relationship to the language. What is the get the word vector for the specific word? If I check for the language, whichever is the closest, you will get this information. It will convert it into the vector. That is the exact thing at the back end it is doing. And if you look at the history, previously it started with a bag of words, then word embedding, then word to vector, then comes the language models. Okay, so the language models, the NLP is a big domain. If you take a two big domain in the deep learning is NLP and the computer vision. Okay, so computer vision, if you anybody working in the machine learning, you guys would have experienced since the advent of the ResNet, DenseNet, all those foundation model for the computer vision built. The standard neural network was built based. And what do? You introduce your novel data with the additional of some layers, which act as a foundation model. Your addition of layers, you will be able to predict the new image. So we have a foundation model there, but the language processing, the natural language processing, it's completely different. We need to label the data every time to train it. So we have multiple subcategory spot of the natural language processing, where the use cases are text summarization. If you give a big passage, let's say if you're reading on white paper, you have 2 page, and if you want to do summarize, you can give the summarize. You can use the model like BERT, which will give you this one, and question and answering, sentiment analysis, speech language. Anybody using Alexa, you would have definitely experienced this one. It's behind that it will understand and it will convert the natural language, which from the human to the natural language understanding. Then it will process the text, then it will reply you back in a speech. Okay, so and sentimental analysis based on the feedback you are giving, whether it is a good or bad. So these are the major domain part of, and each category of this use cases we need a separate different model. Okay, and we don't have any pre-trained foundation model like how we have seen in the CNN framework. And the word embedding, okay, the challenge is the word embedding, right? So it loses the context. Okay, if you look at this one, it will this is the uh, if I say the lazy, um, if the word if the person, it will be able to carry category only the person is related near to human, person is related to man, person is related to woman. So that is how the categorization will go on, but it cannot predict the next two words. Okay, then there is a recurrent neural network came where it is able to predict the next word. Okay, fox jumps over the lazy, it rabbit because it's in the wild jungle context, so it is saying maybe a rabbit. But the challenge with the regular neural network, right? It's all sequence. Okay, and it will not able to store long data. If you say 2 lines, 3 lines, or if you say 100 lines of the data I want to read and then want them to predict the next sentence based on the context of the first paragraph, that cannot be done because of the natural of the neural network they built. It's all sequence, and the if you want to retrain the model based on the new data every time, it is became very challenging. It's a compute intensive also. Okay, then comes the transformer. Okay, this is introduced on 2017 by the Google, and the purpose of this transformer is that if you read this complete white paper, you can understand they mainly focused for the natural language, NLP, for the text. So they wanted to have a translation from French to language translation. Okay, so the reason is if you have something called ça va bien in French, if you ask how are you, the word will be completely different. A bit that the word is completely different from the English and the French. So you need to understand the context of this sentence, and then you need to make a reply. And for that, they have what they did is, if I don't want to go detail into the paper, the very simple thing is it will understand the context, and it will understand the position of your token, which is nothing but a word. Imagine it's nothing but a word, and give a weightage for it. Based on that, it will predict the answer. Okay, so that is what first it formed. Okay, the attention is all new. From there, they build the it's a transformer architecture, but the same way the transformer model architecture was built. Okay, so the transformer architecture, the one advantage is you will give the data to the next layer in a parallel manner. Input will go in a sequence, it do the processing, and it will go to the next layer in a parallel manner. Okay, and it will since it is going in a parallel and it is all processing in a single layer, it is able to understand the relationship between the words. Okay, it first convert the input sequence to the vector representation, then it take all the words, then the output from vector representation to the next word. Okay, so I don't want to go nitty-gritty of this one. Very simple thing, very important thing you need to take out from this slide is, since the introduction of the transformer, it is a parallel and it has attention and it know the context. Okay, because of the push, it give a ranking of the each token. So look at this. It give the quick brown fox jump over the lazy. It can be a dog or it can be a rabbit. Based on the previous context, it will understand it able to predict the word properly. So if we look at the generative AI at the language models, okay, it all following the same principle. It's all going token by token prediction only. Okay, token by prediction, and it will give you the output. Okay, and there are two architecture. One is encoder architecture, another one is a decoder architecture, and some model work on both the side. Anybody who is using your using a chat GPT. Can you tell me which, if you guys are worked on it, can you tell me whether it is part of encoder architecture or decoder architecture? Anybody have idea?
Architecture.
Sorry?
ChatGPT is not encoder decoder architecture. ChatGPT is something like a auto-regressive architecture.
It is
Sorry,
only
what
decoder
architecture?
model.
It's auto-regressive, like a time series, NLP, normal NLP model. Are working
Okay,
like
you're talking about auto-regressive, right?
yeah, auto-regressive.
But auto-regressive also powered by transformer, correct? So it's not like it's a
Yes.
next layer from the transformer, but the transformer architecture is the base. So anybody worked on a BERT model?
Yeah,
BERT, okay. BERT is the encoder or decoder architecture.
but is only encoder model, but GPT is only decoder model.
Exactly. Okay. So
Yes.
there is a advantage of as advantage and disadvantage. Okay. So if anybody use the BERT, you would have seen it work very well for the text summarization. Okay, and decoder architecture, it has a better understanding about the context. Okay, so both has a different advantages and disadvantages. And I'm not going so much deep into it. Anybody want to know more about it? In me, I have created a big pros and cons of using the different architecture. Okay, let's go over this one. So, what is the road to the generative AI? So what they did, the power of the transformer, right? It's not only the structure of the neural network. They given them the freedom to build the model based on the large amount of the data with a lot of parameters tuned, which you can reuse for the multiple purpose. Okay, so you can ask them the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, and you can ask like, can you continue this line with a two sentence? It will give you the output. Okay, so it understand the context of the sentence, and it understand the your input as a prompt, and it understand the context. They continue with this and it will start. Okay, so the rise of machine, okay, it's all start. I'm just not highlighting all the models. There are a lot of models, okay, but I'm highlighting the important milestone. The BERT is where after the transformer came, the BERT model came. Okay, the moment BERT came, the lot of innovation happened around the BERT. Okay, let's say what they taken is they taken that transformer model and they retrained with their own data. Let's say if I'm having a legal company. I have a, you see the right, the large amount of stacks of books will be at the lawyer, at the hall of the lawyer, or in the room of the lawyer. So what they have done is they have used all the data, trained that model. I say they fine tuned the model, and then they started announcing as a legal BERT. You can same thing they did for the bio BERT. They can do the same thing for social BERT. Okay, they use a foundation model and started using this. Okay, then there is a GP2 which is a 1.5 billion parameter. So anybody can in the call can explain in a single sentence what is parameter. Not no need to integrity, just have tell in a single sentence what is a parameter.
Uh, that's something which can be learned.
Yes, in a neural network, if you take example, you will have a multiple layers. Okay, layer one, layer two, layer three, and then you have a hidden layers. Okay, so each layer we will be having a weights and bias, and then we do the back propagation. Okay, and what the parameter is, it will tune the parameters all this between the layers till we get an optimal output. Okay, and the more we use a parameter, the more compute intensive it is, compute and memory intensive, but it give a better output. Okay, so the foundation model was trained with a large amount of the data from the internet with a fine-tuned amount of this much data. There is no such thing like the more parameter it is, the better accuracy is. There is a proportion. Uh, if you there is a proportion. If you, I can send you the white paper if anybody interested in me. It's a 1:20. Okay, based on the 20 tokens, there is a one parameter tuning needed for the better prediction. Okay, so uh, so this is the parameter. Okay, the parameter is nothing but in your remote you have a TV and you have a remote where you can use the remote to change the volume, reduce the volume, go to different channels. So this is the parameter you're tuning, right? Reduce the brightness, reduce this one. The TV is there and the functionality is that based on this you have tuned it according to your need. Okay, according to the best output. Okay, that's how the parameter. People who not working in the technical day in day out, imagine that is a parameter. Okay, the GP2 came, then the GP2 3 came, but the GPT 3.5, which the chat GPT got used to the wide adoption, that's where people started using more. But it is not that the generative AI came only on the 2023 September or December where the chat GPT started booming. The chat GPT is there for a long time. As I said, 2017, there is a transformer model was announced, and the 2017 at the later range, there is a bird model. Sort adaptation of the bird model was more, and the same bird model we have used for the text summarization. We can use it for the name entity recognition. Same model. So there is a This generative AI is there for a long time, but the adaptation got improved. And then Bloom is from the big science company. Okay, you know GPT is from the OpenAI. Okay, so after bringing all this model, okay, what is next? Okay, now you can see there is a GPT-4 came up and it is going to be 1 trillion parameter. Okay, people are telling 1 trillion parameter, and if anybody following the NVIDIA, you can see there is something called Megatron. Okay, there are a lot of models available. Name it, you have a lot of models available, and they call these are all as a foundation model. Okay, these are all the base model I call a foundation model. And in AWS, you have lot of foundation model available. Few are proprietary model, few are publicly available model. Okay, you can take any model. You can take a stability.ai, which is more for the image, text to image conversion, or you can do the image captioning. Okay, and you can give the low quality image and give a high quality image. Okay, and you can give a text input, which will give you the image output. We are going to see this demo today. And Alexa model is this is what powering the Alexa. Okay, then anybody worked on a Hugging Face, you can. If not worked, I definitely recommend you guys to go. Definitely check this website. It's very interesting. This is like open. It's a GitHub of the generative AI models, I would say. You can go, you have see multiple models available, and you can consume as an API. It's very fun. Okay. And Cohere, this is one of the best model if you want to build, but it's a proprietary model. It's a good on fine tuning. And we have one more model called AI 21 Labs. We can use for the text generation. I personally tried with this model. It's really, really good. Okay. And today we are going to do some demo on this. Okay. So we are going to take uh, two, three demo. One is on the code whisperer at the high level, and then we will go for stability.ai, and then we go for a text generation by AI 21 Labs. Okay, before going there, I just want to walk you through a few things. Okay. And what are the application of the generative AI? We are talking about so much about the AI, generative AI. What are the applications? Okay. As I mentioned, we have discussed enough on the text generation, game design. Let's say you are a game developer and you want to build a new game. You need a lot of others, right? And this generative AI can build you the fascinating avatars for you. Industry designs, okay. And we are going, there is a report saying that we are going by 2030, there's a every from here to 2030 there is a 24% year on year increase in adoption of the generative AI in the industry design. Particularly if you want to have any novel design, you can give an input and will give you the base image. It will not replace human. It will give you the base information, and from say base image or base information, from that you can develop. Same thing goes for the drug design. Okay, if you want to have one molecule, if most of the time the drug design they have a end result and then they work backwards. Okay, so if you want to work backwards, they will have thousands and millions of combinations between more one molecule to another molecule changes. Okay, so this will be definitely the generative is playing a pivotal role into this one. As I mentioned, image generation, video generation, audio generation, that is happening. Even you can create a TikTok with that text. Okay, so that is also possible. Then code companion. If you talk about the immediate tool which you guys can start, anybody can start using as a code companion. It is available. There are a lot of tools available. You can take code whisperer is available. That is from the OpenAI's. Copilot is also available. I personally use code whisperer. I love it. I it's going to be it's day in day out I'm using this. Okay, and it has a lot of other features also which we will see in the demo. Okay, so this is the code whisperer. I would call this a generative a pair coder. Okay, so it will act as a pair coding. You will see this one. Then SageMaker has a lot of foundation model. Okay, so what is prompt? Okay, in it is nothing in anybody worked on a chat GPT, whatever the text input you are giving, and that is called prompt. There are something called prompt engineering and prompt design. Prompt design is something you have a understanding about what you want and you are asking in the as an input to the language model, it is giving output. Since ChatGPT has a better interface, you are able to get it is easy to get it. If you're using in a code, you have a proper prompt design. You need to have a proper code or a different separator between your asks. Okay, so this is the prompt. But most of the models you can use, try it from the AWS Foundation model. You can select any of the model and write overcoming the writer's block. Okay, you can write give any title and any input as a prompt, and it give you generate you the text. Okay, and the text to image. Okay, you will give it, and the stable diffusion is the model which you can. We are going to see the demo. We give a text as an input, and it will give you the image as an output. Okay, before going, I prefer to first start with the demo, then I'll explain how the stable diffusion will work. Okay. Okay, before I am ready to take some questions, if you guys have any questions. Okay, as it's big science is also Hugging Face Research Group. Okay, trainable ways. I'm not saying yes, trainable ways. Correct. Let me go over the demo. Okay, let's take my studio. Okay, here it is. EDA. Okay, so I tried it before this. Okay, so imagine I have a file, CSV file. You see, this is a CSV file I have. I want to do some EDA, exploratory data analysis. I say import, go to 3. Okay, import. Well, let me see. This is the first we need to install the. Okay. Oh my God, it is asking me to log in. Okay, you have to use a AWS skill builder, and you can subscribe for the AWS skill builder. If anybody put a documentation how to enable the code whisperer in your favorite IDE, it will give you the information. It installed as a plugin. I installed as a plugin, and you can see this one. It is asking me to log in. Okay, 1 minute. It's logging in. Hello. So it's validating your authentication. Okay. Okay. Now, what am I trying to do is from this EDF file, I have a CSV file. I want to do some exploratory data analysis. I'm going to read this in the Pandas framework, but without writing much of my code. Okay. Uh, Pandas as PD. Okay. So I'm going to write saying that read the CSV file using Pandas. Okay, CSV file. What is the name of the file? All stocks 5-year.csv file using pandas. See? Okay. So I'm doing df dot head. Okay. So in a terminal, I can go SageMaker stock MLOps, series stock analysis. Now I can save this code and I can run. Okay. Say eda.py Python 3 eda.py. If I run this, it is able to give you the output here. Okay. I think it would have given output. I need to go down and check it. Oh, I not given a print. CD, okay, CD stock analysis. Okay, so where is analysis? Okay, here it is. Okay, here I can say print df dot head. We can rather than doing this, we can do this one. Okay. Print first 5 lines of df. You need to give a tab. Okay, so it will give you the output. Okay, so one advantage, right? The or you can say uh, display the columns of data frame. Okay, print df columns. So if you can, it will give you this one. Okay. So you can remove the column also. If you can do this one, okay, it's that problem. Very important thing, right? Every development environment now going to the shift up left approach. So if I have any code, if you imagine you have written 1,000 lines of the code using the one, okay. Not only this, I have done a lot of demos. I just want to keep it very simple. So I have created an event-driven pipeline for the using the same with the help of Code Whisperer, and I tried to create a CDN also via Code Whisperer. It's all working fine. Okay, so if I want to do the security scan, I can click here itself in your IDA itself. You can use it. If anybody uses the Code Guru, if anybody has an idea about the Code Guru, it is also ML powered SaaS to security analysis, a static analysis security tool. It will run through your code and understand if there is any bug or any security vulnerability or that. Okay, so you can see this is get verified and it find no bug. Okay, so this is what I would say code companion. Okay, you can build a lot of things with the it's not going to replace us. Okay, we are going to uh, it is going to be work as a pair programmer. Okay, nobody want to write every time read all those things. If I put 5 instruction and give a tab, it will start giving all this information. Okay, and then I want to go to the next demo, which is text generation. Okay, text generation. Okay. I will cancel this and go to the next one. Into 1 minute. Any questions in meanwhile? I take ready to take questions on this code whisperer. Okay, this is the go on.
Yeah, so this is for IntelliJ, like for Android ID. Do you have any code?
I am using VS Code. I know it is available for VS Code, but if you want to talk about any other ID, so I would say Code Whisperer supported ID. I know it is it work on IntelliJ for sure because IntelliJ is a popular one. It support multiple languages. Suppose almost 15 languages, but IDE supported. I see Jupyter Lab, which will support VS Code, will support JetBrain, will support.
Okay.
I don't think so. We have if you are building a Lambda from UI, Lambda UI, it will support. Okay.
Okay.
IntelliJ is part of the JetBrains, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Yes. See, it is. Yeah, here it is. Okay, but they have a different one. PyCharm. See, PyCharm is all from JetBrains. It will work for it. Yeah, it will work. Good. So now let me go to this model. I went to the SageMaker. Okay. If anybody want to know where is the foundation model, this is where the foundation model exists. You go to the SageMaker. Under that, you have a Jumpstart. You have a foundation model. Okay. Inside the foundation model, you can select the Jumbo, which this is what this is the model I'm using. Okay, so according to there is something called Helm framework. Okay, which is from the Berkeley, I think so. Yeah, uh, which will give you what is the best model available for your purpose. Okay, yeah, Stanford University. You can go to the site. It will give you all the recent papers, GitHubs, and everything, and it will give you which model work on uh, uh, better for your use case. Okay, it has a different parameters to decide which model to work. Okay, anybody want working real time? If you not know about this before, you use this one. I was checking this one. Okay. Good. Let me go to this one. Okay, here I given them the input. Okay, so this data is a SageMaker low code data. Okay, so I'm given them the question saying that Q&A. Okay, this is a prompt. Okay, this is a prompt design. I'm giving as a separator as a stop sequence as this one. You can use anything else. Okay, you can not anything else. There are certain only few characters are allowed. Okay, I'm using the hash key as in the separator. So what I'm trying to do is I'm given this four data, four questions. This is my question. This is my answer. I'm given the four question. At the end, what am I saying is create a multiple choice question on the topic of SageMaker low code ML FAQ consists of four questions. Each question should have four options. Also, it include the correct answer for the each question. I'm prompting, it's a zero sort prompting. I'm giving them sample input and ask them to predict this and give them the context. Given the basic context and ask them to generate out of this. So once I generate, click on generate text, this is what it given. Well, my data can be used to share update on my base model that is offered by Jumpstart. Answer is no. Okay. And what is the weight? Can I see the model weights, proprietary model in a preview on a SageMaker's Jumpstart? The answer is no. So it will start giving you the four answers to it. Imagine you are taking some exam. Okay, so you have some contacts. You can give that contact and ask. This will give you the novel questions, which will help you to prepare. Okay, so this is the small use case I'm giving. You can do many tasks. Okay, you can take the bunch of the information and you can do the text generation, and you can even have a big SQL query if you're not SQL expert. Okay, and make sure you're not putting any PA data while you are doing this kind of playground exercise. It can be any playground. Please don't use it. Okay, and you can come here and put this information, and it will give you the what this SQL is trying to do is okay, and a regex generator. Okay, if anybody worked on a programming while you're processing any big file or any logic, you know it's very hard to do the regex. Okay, particularly if anybody started working from the time we have a NLP from the spacey where we a lot of work happen only at the regex basis. So regex creation is very tedious task which you can do from here, and if you can create a chat bot kind of thing, table Q&A. Okay, so a lot of use cases are there. Okay, let me go to the next demo I want to make, which is the image to text to image. See, this is the image. This is a stability.io. So stable diffusion model. We will discuss how the stable diffusion is working at a high level. Okay, so I went to this model. Okay, and you can see I put scientists playing cricket in space. Okay, I don't want to make any individual, so you can give any. Your imagination is the limit. Okay, you can give any of your image. I won't say it will give you a complete prediction. It will give you at the whatever the images which was trained before. Okay, then we also have one important thing I want to talk about the foundation model, right? Uh, anybody has any suggestion? Want to try something? I say cat surfing in ocean. Somebody message me. Let me put this one. It's giving the image cat surfing in the ocean. So okay, these are all the examples I want to show you guys. Okay, in the foundation model, I want to talk about very important thing is this max length. What is your character limit? Okay, and what is the temperature? Temperature is nothing but it will give you the uh, randomness of your answer. Okay, then P is the probability. I don't want to get into this one. It's if you are giving a text, it will give based on the weight. It will give you the probability, and it will select which word acceptable to show you to you. Okay. Next comes. Let me follow through the session. Okay. Any questions, guys, on the presentation? Shall I go? I
Uh,
have a few things to cover.
hello. Does this foundational model is like a secure, like it is not doing any kind of code leakage, data leakage?
No, it will not unless until you are giving your data. It's highly recommended. I personally recommend don't put any pay data. Don't take your account number and all the information and go to the your foundation model or the and say that how much money you have in this account. Don't do that. Okay. So, so it's all about how you are prompting. You don't put any PA data in your prompting.
Okay, so my question is like I have one client requirement and I want to use this foundational model, one of these like question answering purpose. My client
Yes,
has some of the like confidential data. Can I trust on this foundational model?
exactly. I answered you at the last slide. I have that information. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. I'll definitely answer on this one. Okay. So that stable diffusion so these are all the pictured clicked image. Okay. What they did is they are using this image and doing the training. Okay. And after the training, if you are giving an input like the marigold, the puppy as a street art, so you are getting the street art. This is the AI generated information. How is it happening? You see, this is the 8-bit information. How is it happening is I'm not going into the model and algorithm behind it. I'll give you the high level. So what does it do is it will keep on diffusion. Diffusion is nothing but it will diffusing the existing picture. Okay, and it will diffuse until it will completely noise where you cannot recall this image. Okay, and it will keep all the contact all the information, weight and bias, all those information. Then it will work backwards to generate the new image. Imagine in this image, in as an input, if you are saying dog wearing a hat as another image, what will happen? The cat will, based on your auto-regressive model and whatever the weight of this model, dog and cat is the weight among the text input, it will create a cap and say dog birthday cap on dog. Okay, so the birthday cap is a one more context. It will take one more image and the dog. Okay, and it understand the context, and you will see the image on top of the dog. Okay, so it just diffuse the model and it will fuse it again. Okay, so that is how the stable diffusion is working. You can give any novel, it can give you a text data, marigold, the puppy on the space station, it'll give you the information. Okay, and uh, if anybody tried asking your current, say, ChatGPT itself, who won the IPL 2023, will it able to give an answer? It won't give an answer because there is a knowledge cut off for your foundation model. Okay, and that we will address. I explain you how we are addressing it the last. So before that, I just touch upon I think I already covered the prompt engineering. What is prompt engineering? Here in this use case, the marigold, the puppy on the space station, this is a text input we are giving to get the output. You remember I was showing cats surfing on the ocean. That is a prompt I given, which I'm getting output. And I'm giving you a different example. Okay, so title, and you are giving a topic and giving a length of paragraph. Okay, so you are prompting to write a blog. Okay, you can write. It will give you the fantastic blog. Here it will understand how to win the TikTok, and this is under the topic of game theory. These are the weightage it will give as part of your generation of uh, language words or the content. Based on that it will predict. So you can write an article. So these are the article this is written in information style, everything. Okay, so you can give this, you can use this model as a prompt labeling. Okay, here you can see announcement, CDK, DevOps. Okay, you can give a prompt engineering for your training. Okay, if you want to try. And from let's have some discussion about what are we going from here. Models are going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and it is going to be get more sophisticated. And a lot of developers are going to use foundation models and prompt engineering, and a lot of enterprises are going to adapt the foundation model for their use case. And we will discuss about how it will work. Okay, and there comes a challenge. Okay, so if anybody knows if what is a huge cost, training the foundation model is so higher, or serving the inference is higher. Take example of ChatGPT or Bard. These are the two chatbot available, and better, and one more model from the one more product from the AWS is going to come, whether the training cost will be more or inference cost will be more.
Training cost will be more
Okay.
since he can
So
pass the gradient.
yeah, training cost is a large, but if you are running at a scale like a ChatGPT, your inference cost is going to be so higher. Yes, both the costs are going to be go high. That's where the lot of initiative happened at the algorithm optimization, like a parameter tuning, the perf or the LoRa. A lot of algorithm optimization is happening for the training side, and a lot of innovation happening on the inference side. Take example AWS Trainium. It is designed to run the large language model, which will give you the lot of reduction in your cost. Okay, and if the same thing for the inference, you can use the AWS Inferentia, which will bring down your cost a lot. Okay, so in AWS, I have a three layers. One is at the bedrock. One, let's talk about the code whisperer. We have spoke before, which is a code companion. Then I'm talking about training your model and inferencing your model. You can use the Amazon Trainium and Inferentia. Okay. Then Amazon announced the Bedrock model. Bedrock, which consists of a lot of foundation model which you can use at your enterprise without leaving your data. I'm answer to your question. Okay, this is the foundation model. Big companies like Jurassic 2, Cloud, Anthropic, and you can Stable Diffusion, okay, which is by the stability.ai, and Amazon Titan, which is Amazon built a model for text summarization. These are all the basic foundation model available as part of the Bedrock, where you can consume as an API. Okay, you can, like, if anybody developing any generative application, you can use a large language model as your base model, and you generate the API from your ChatGPT and using it now. The same way Bedrock will give you as an API token, and you can select this model, any of this foundation model based on your use case, which we have discussed how to find the right model from the helm and use it for your use case. Okay, and you consume as a API. The complete infrastructure, everything will be owned by the Amazon. Okay, next session we are planning on July, and this is where we are going to discuss about how we can use it in an enterprise. Let's say in enterprise you have a large amount of the data collected from. We take an example, Jira. You have a lot of Jira tickets available, and it that we have years and years of amount of the data we have collected in Jira database. But if you want to some historical information by just by typing that as a chat in a chat or the prompt, how do you do it? Okay, so there are a lot of new framework came, especially the LangChain framework, which you can use generative prompt, and you can use the memory of that model. The simple thing is, it's more as an augmented generation. Okay, so we will keep it in a memory, and the model will read the data, and uh, and then it'll they send it to their foundation model and predict. Okay, so if you anybody interested, you can reach out to me. I'm already building a session on this one, but it is going to take next July. We are planning to conduct the session. So the brain behind this, the retrieval augmented generation. Okay, what does it do is, it's a vector database. Take an example here. We can use um, any favorite vector database or Elasticsearch. You can crawl your new data like Jira data and keep it in Elasticsearch, and you can give your prompt, and the moment prompt comes, it will go check it in your vector data, check it in your foundation model, and the foundation model will be given an input with the context of uh, your retrieval augmented generation, where you're keeping a vector database output of the vector database, right? It will use that information and give you the predicted output. Okay, So here everything will be reside within the VPC. It will not go in outside the VPC.
So Jay Krishnan, I have a one question.
Yes.
So the question is basically like on the free tier of the AWS, let's say I want to learn that these one, right, which you have implemented 821 and all model Amazon Bedrock services or the Amazon Titan is there. So am I able to access that if I am a user of free tier architecture of AWS?
Yeah, you can use it. Okay. See, if I'm not mistaken, say I enabled this foundation long back. Okay. If you are a new user, you're not enabled your foundation model, you need to raise a request and they will enable the foundation model.
Okay, but it is a free, it is come under the free credit of AWS free
Yes,
account
yes.
or
You go
okay.
to your account, okay, but you need to you need to have permission to it. If you are a user and your admin is restricting, you cannot do it. Go to the SageMaker. Under the SageMaker, there is a jumpstart. Under that, you have foundation model. Under that, you
No,
can see all this model.
I'm not talking about that admin account one, but let's say for on personal account.
You can use it in your personal account also. You can use it. I'm using my personal account. This is my personal account.
Okay, okay, then I think because what happened, like we are working a lot with the foundation model. So we thought like if we are able to access that and if we want to train that on a Bedrock or the Titanium services where we can train our own LLM. So that's why I'm asking for just sake of testing and if we get the success, we can recommend to the client as well. Like we can just train the LLM models on AWS
Definitely.
with some
Yeah, you can
services.
use it. You can use it. If you have any questions, message me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to direct you. Okay, best of
Sure,
my
sure.
knowledge. I was playing around with for last 3 4 months. So I best
O-
of my knowledge, I'll share it. Okay. The
Okay,
next
okay.
session, that's why see this question I'm coming up with multiple people. How are we going to use in enterprise? Okay. That's why I want to have it on a next session. Okay. So the important thing with session which happening in our AWS data user group, right? So we want to make sure we will go with some demo, at least some code. So you guys have some understanding. Okay. That's why I don't want to walk through the PPT. I want to show the code first. It is easy to walk through the PPT, okay, but want the people to have understand the context.
Yeah, this is much needed thing actually
Oh,
for the
welcome.
industry data scientist.
Okay, one favor from me: if you have a mobile, please take this screen and please give me a feedback. It's really help us, and it really help us. Okay, um, we will be able to give more, much valuable content. Okay, with more demos. Okay, so I'll take a few more questions. Flight swimming in ocean, man. Okay,
Hi,
I can.
hi, Jaya Kisan. So Chetan, this side, my question is like this foundational model, does it charge externally like what OpenAI charge, right, per thousand token?
No, it's like now whatever I did a demo, right? I not paid anything because I'm just doing experimenting on their playground, like a chat GPT. We have it's a playground. But if you are going to use in your application as an API, you are trained pre-trained with your data and doing some fine tuning. Then it is going to cost you a lot. Okay. See, there are three concepts, right, which I not touched upon. Okay. So you have a foundation model. Okay. Then what you can do is you can fine tune the model with the new data. Let's take an example. You have built your foundation model and we have knowledge cutoff of 21. Okay. And you want to train that information for all the events happening on 2023 IPL so that people can get answers of the 2023 IPL. You can collect the data and fine tune that model. Fine tune is nothing but you are giving a new data and fine tuning this model and giving the output. But the challenge with this one, right? It's a 2023 cutoff. If you have any real-time information, let's say in a corporate, if you have a ticket information, it's a real-time information. That's where the big challenges comes. That's where the architecture which I mentioned, retrieval augmented training, you can use it as a database which will be give us a context for your input. If it is not able to foundation model is not able to find it, it will give your prompt plus context from your vector database, and then it will predict. Okay. So of course, if you're training the model, it is going to cost. And if you're hosting the model as an endpoint, it is going to cost. But if you want to use as a playground, it is not going to cost.
Okay, got it.
Same thing with the ChatGPT, right? If you are taking that API and have a token more than particular token, you may end up in paying for that.
Yes. And can we use some POC or hands-on on the Amazon Titan on this Bedrock?
Yeah, you can try it. Okay. See, Bedrock is not available. It is coming. Coming.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, in like last week, I was trying this Amazon Bedrock and then went to the AI21 websites and trained some little bit models over there. But
Yeah.
it was not satisfactory results over there.
You check Helm first. What use case you want to check and what you can predict. Okay. As I mentioned, the each company have a different use cases. You try with a Hugging Face from also. I find little better output from the Hugging. I say I don't want to take uh, any take on it or any without having a understanding the full context. You want to have a Helm link. Okay.
Yeah.
Helm. So if you put
Uh,
Helm chat,
you said that inference cost will be higher. Can you explain once more that?
you trained your model. Now you have a 200. You have built your application by training the model. You host the model now. For the training, you would have fine tuning the model. Say to train from the scratch model, it's not everybody can do it. It's only few companies who have a big bill can do it. Okay. But imagine you have taken the foundation model and fine-tuned the model, paying some extra money, okay? And you hosted that model and your application is getting super hit, okay? And you rise from 300 user to 300 million user in a month. Imagine the cost you spend for the fine-tuning, and imagine the people are using your application, the inference cost, which will be more.
Basically, if the scale, it is dependent on the scale. If the scale is more, then the difference cost will be more.
Yes, yes. If that's what I'm saying. But any product, any big companies building the product, the consumption always going to go up. Correct? They do the multiple iteration. So they need to have better understanding. If you want to use a training, they can use a trainium, which give a 30 more than 30% of the savings. At the same time, they can host it on an inference here. Okay. Where you can give a better savings. You can use it on a GPU also. There is a wide array of compute option available in AWS, but these two are all purpose built for this use case. If it is the inference, use the inference. You can use the inference here too, which is the latest one.
One more question. That during inference, may it might be that company might be training on our data. It is possible. Yeah.
So you're asking whether this
Uh,
company is training the data.
since we are using API, just like ChatGPT, they haven't shown any model. Might be they are training on our data also. This might be also be case. Then how to deal this situation that protecting our company's
See,
data?
that's what I so told, right? If you are so much into this one, I would prefer you guys deploy this model within the VPC and have a retrieval augmented training RAG. Okay, so the data will not go outside of VPC. And again, you need to read the conditions. Okay, according to all the responsible AI features enabled by the AWS, no. Okay, so this is a very important topic. I think I have discussed about this topic in my previous sessions also. Responsible AI is very important thing where the customer data, privacy, bias, fairness, these are all need to taken into the account. Okay, they will not. Okay, according to their claim, they will not.
How about security, Aina?
Security, it depends. Okay, so as I said, if you're completely hosting in a VPC, your data in S3, your vector databases in your within your VPC, there is no issues. It is not going out. Okay, and you have to do the proper context. You can say you should not emit any harmful information. It's all built, but you can take extra information. Okay, you can build a chat GPT in such a way that you can answer the question only for the physics and give a some kind of additional input, but don't give an answer. Like that, you build a chat GPT where it will not give you the answer directly. If people are questioning what is it, let's say if 2 plus 2, what is, okay, and it will not give answer. If you are making a Q&A bot for your students, okay, it will give you the context. You can apply your arithmetic logic to build it. So you can build your context on the GPT. So it's a security on both the side, and the prompting side also, both the side and the data side also.
So is there any model like so that we can select the model and then expose our security posture and then check our security posture?
Uh, you are asking is there a model specific security process? I'm talking in general, okay. I'm not
Hmm.
taking any specific model.
Hmm.
In all the models, the large language model work like that only.
Okay.
One more last,
You,
one last question. Since it might be that a particular company have their own data, they might want to personalize that LLM for their use case. It is possible that that training that model in our personal data and use it for our case.
okay. So let's have a little bit understanding. This model is not having all the corpus of the data. It has the reasoning of your reasoning of the language data. Okay. So if you want to train your data, you have to make sure that you can start small without having any PE information and
I'm
start within
talking
your
about
infrastructure.
fine tuning that LLM, something like that. Keeping the
Yeah,
base
you can.
model as it is and
Yes.
fine tuning on our data.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. There are multiple technique. Okay, you can say perf. Okay, performer. Performance. Perf. Okay, perf. Okay, perf is the one option, and you can use a LoRa. There are multiple technique. You can use the technique and do it. Fine tune it.
Okay. And in this case, there won't be the data privacy issue since we are training the model.
No, if you are training within your infrastructure, why it is? If you are using an AWS training and you are keeping your data in S3, what is going to be happening? There is no issues.
Hello, Jay Krishnan. One last question. Uh, okay, so like one of my requirement was that like my client has 5,000 blogs, past blogs regarding XYZ industry, and they want to develop one question answer on top of that. Now on top of that, they also want daily blogs, new load. So like daily new 1,000 or let's say 100 blogs are daily generating. So how I can do this embedding addition of these two embeddings? One is like past 1,000 or 5,000 plus my daily load. How we can achieve such kind of embeddings and how we can do retraining on daily basis
Okay,
using LLM.
that's where the advantages of the vector database comes in. So if you are updating your, let's say you are keeping Elasticsearch your vector database and you have a new data, say you have 100 rows in a database and every day 100 rows are adding newly, you want to make sure the output is giving a near real-time output, okay? Or at least T minus 1 day output, okay? So what you can do is you can have a batch job which will read the data and use your base model like a chat GPT J or something and read that information and write it to the vector database. So it convert the text, convert it to the vector and keep it in the vector database, which will give us semantic information. And while you are predicting the inference call goes, you're giving a prompt and the context will come from the embedding database, sorry, embedded information on the vector database. The context will come, then it will give you the new your output. So you can, it's all how you are updating your vector database frequently, which give you the context and give you the output. If you say you given the data up to June 10th, okay, and if you are asking some question, what is the June 10, how many tickets opened in Jira, so it will give you the information because it takes the context from your embedding vector database and it will give you the information.
Got it. So you means that like yeah, ultimately I have to do embedding summation in vector database.
Exactly. So that is what I'm covering next session, man. Okay. So I I don't want to lose the interest for the next session.
Yep, yep, sure, sure.
That's
Thanks.
what we are doing it. Okay.
Yep, thank you. It was
Okay.
a really great session. Thanks.